What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Ghouls Gaming and Tech channel. We have Mafia, the old country right here. This game, we're doing this on the PS5 Pro, but I'm going to give you guys, as usual, the best visual and gameplay settings for this game in particular. Now, obviously, we're doing this on the PS5 Pro. This is a PS5 Pro enhanced game, so you're going to have a better blend of quality and fidelity as far as 60 frames versus 30, all that good stuff. So overall, the image quality should look great regardless. I'm going to show you guys the best settings for this game just so you can get the most out of your gameplay. If you want to change one of these particular settings, if it works better for you to change it, by all means, go with that. This is not the end all be all, but these are the best general overall recommended settings just based on how this game plays and how you can get the best look as far as visual quality and performance out of it. So as usual, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this content and if it was helpful. And if you're new or returning, make sure to hit that like button. It's definitely appreciated. It's the best way that I and YouTube knows you guys enjoy this content. And also, if you want to become a member, we live stream all the time. Make sure to become a member. So we're on the main menu right here. You can go to options right here and go to settings. Now you have some controls right here. Toggle to sprint, we'll leave that as toggle. And then right here, gameplay. Now I put this difficulty on hard because I don't think this game is going to be like a super long game, so I want it to be somewhat challenging, so I just put it on hard. As you can see, it gives you a tougher experience. The weapons deal less damage, enemies hit harder, higher frequency or accuracy. You gain fewer resources when looting and picking up things, and then vehicles take realistic damage from collisions. Now I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like a great gameplay to me. So I want to play it on hard. Aim assist, we left this on, or we put it on snap. So we put aim assist on and we put it on snap. There's going to be a lot of gunfights you get into that you're going to be in a moving vehicle. I don't want to be dealing with reticle that's just bouncing all over the place as I try to aim at the enemy. So I just put it on snap. You do have the option to snap and follow. That can be a little bit obnoxious. I've seen that mechanic in other games. I'm not a fan of it, so I just leave it on snap. Aim, pull, follow, strength. I don't want that strength to be too hard because I want to be able to pull from one enemy to the next when I'm aiming. So I'll just put this on 0.05 just so I can be able to pull without the game trying to strictly hold me on that one target, if that makes any sense. Aim, pull, movement, strength. I put this on 0.25, so that's fine, or it came on 0.25, so I left it at that. Aim, slow, strength, I leave that at 0.5, and then persistent center dot, I just left that off because I don't want that to show all the time. All right, so manually shifting right here. I don't want to manually shift. I want this thing to automatically shift. I know this game is placed in an older time or set in an older time. I don't feel like manually shifting. I'll leave this on or off. I'll leave that off. Simulation driving enables more realistic driving experience without vehicle handling assistance. So I left that on. That's fine with me. I can adjust that on the fly. Skip drive and ride. I don't want to do that. I think it defaults on. I turned this off. I don't want to do that again because I don't think this game is going to be super long. I think it was about 50 or 60 bucks. I think it was about 50 bucks, and then deluxe is like 60. I don't want to skip any of that stuff. Anytime I get a chance to drive and ride a horse, I want to be able to take in all the cinematics and the environment and all that stuff. So I turned that off. Navigation signage, it just basically shows you and guides you. I left that on. Stance when using cover. So I put this on classic Mafia. It originally came on persistent crouch, I believe, but I put it on classic Mafia because it says it'll automatically adjust your stance to match cover height. So if I'm standing behind a tall dresser or a low rock or something, I want it to be able to manually or automatically adjust to those different heights. So that's why I put it on that. Persistent crouch is just one default crouch. I don't want that. I think it's more realistic and immersive if I put it on classic Mafia. And then camera right here, camera shake, obviously leave that on. Vehicle camera view, I want it near the vehicle, not super panned out, just so it's more immersed, if that makes any sense. And all these other ones, they come on as default, so I left those on. All right, now we're going to HUD, contextual HUD. I left this on. It says it shows weapons, items, health, HUD. I'll leave this on when I start the game. Once I get used to it and I kind of know where everything is, I might turn that off, but for now, I'll turn that on. mission objective visibility. There's no like dynamic option usually in games. I usually like when it has a dynamic option, so it'll show when you start moving or when you aim, but it won't show all the time. But you don't have that here. You only have always on and manual. The manual is the objective icon text appear briefly when you press the touchpad. That's fine. Always on, we'll just leave it on, but you can put it on manual. I would recommend putting that on manual just to briefly show you here and there, and then let it go away. So that's basically the dynamic option that you will have here. Advanced HUD setting. This is all the stuff is going to show you on your HUD. Obviously, it's not going to be showing all the time because we put it on manual. So I just turned all of these, or I left all of these on because I'll figure that out when I touch the touchpad. So we're going to go back and we're going to go into graphics. Now, I've looked at tons and tons of gameplay of this, and just playing through this, obviously this is a pro enhanced game, so it's better helping you get a higher performance and quality. It's supposed to be more seamless. So from what I've seen, as you can see, the image slightly shifts right here. From what I've seen, performance is going to be your best bet. You're running at 60 frames. Quality will put you at 30 frames locked in, but it's not as bad as far as the 30 frames. You do notice it, but performance still looks amazing. The image looks amazing at 30 or 60 frames, sorry. So I recommend playing this in performance mode, and obviously this VSync, you can leave this on. It says VSync, for those who don't know, eliminate screen tearing by always rendering and presenting a game frame in sync with the TV display refresh rate. So basically that means what the game offers, what the PlayStation offers, and what your display, your monitor, whatever you're playing this on, it will sync all that stuff up together to make sure you're getting the most crisp image when it comes to frames. Obviously, why would you not turn that on? So that is going to be the best setting for that. So leave that on or turn it on if it didn't already come into it. Language, nothing changed here. All I did was turn subtitles off. And then audio, everything is loud as it should be, depending on what you're playing on. I'll put this in home theater because I have like a little sound bar and surround sound, a little system here. So put that on home theater. And then HDR and brightness. So I modified this a little bit. When you start the game, HDR is going to be turned off. Make sure to turn that on. I don't know why you would play a game outside of HDR. Beats me. But I tweaked some of these settings just a little bit. So peak brightness, I moved this to 730. I think it originally came at like 700, I believe, but I just put it up to 730. You don't want that too bright. And then brightness, I put this on 90. So I think it originally came on 100 or 110. To me, that's a little bit too bright. And just looking at these images and stuff and looking at the game, I want this on 90 so it's not too bright. HUD brightness, to me, this doesn't really matter. I just put that on 110. And then black point, it comes on 0. It starts at 0. Any way you go to the right is going to be too bright for me. So I just moved this to negative 0.2 just because I think that's the best. Any darker, it will kind of take away from the quality of the image. So 0 or negative 0.2 is probably going to be your best bet, just to give you some richness in your depths when it comes to where it's black in that image, and just to give you a little bit more contrast. So that's a quick one. That is pretty much all the settings. When you click on new game, it's going to give you these defaults. Aim snap type, you're going to have to reset that again to snap. Controller vibration, obviously you want that all the way up. Subtitles, I think it puts it on again. I turned that off. Subtitle size, we're not too concerned with it. And then there you go. Then you can just start the game. So again, those are going to be your best settings playing this definitely on the PS5 Pro. It is an enhanced game, so this game is going to look and run amazing. So hopefully these settings help you guys. Didn't want to waste you guys time. Thanks for tuning in as always. I love you guys. I appreciate it. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.